Looks like we had our 19th homicide of the year on the south side just last night on June the 11th on Sunday at the Heritage Square Apartments on the south side. That's on White Bluff. Now, Savannah police are saying that a male was found shot at the Heritage Square Apartments just before midnight, around 11 o'clock. Now, what I want to say about this apartment complex, this was my first apartment complex I actually moved to. This was back in 2012. I moved out of my people's house and I moved to the south side because a lot of people say that the south side is safer. I don't know where a lot of people get that from. But I first moved to this place, Heritage Square Apartments. Now, this was back in 2012, 5 years ago. And I was living there by myself. And it wasn't really activity out there, but just those apartments in general. Those apartments was really crappy. I mean, like really crappy apartments. I mean, at first I thought it was like decent, because they took me on a little tour inside, and I thought, okay, it was cool. But when I moved in, and after like 2 weeks of living there, I had like problems with just maintenance. I had like a big water leak underneath my carpet, and like every few days I had like water would sprout out of my carpet, and I always had to get a carpet cleaning company to come by and clean up the water. And it just was like I had like other issues with my bathroom. I didn't have a cable. I didn't have a cable cord running through my wall, and I was like, man, like screw this place. And then what topped it off was that these apartment complexes are, I was on the lower level, and you have people that's on top of you as well. And you'll hear noises. It was just like really thin walls. And then not only that, but this is where the first place where I got arrested at. The first time I got arrested was out here at Heritage Square. I was smoking weed in my own apartment, doing my own thing, and the neighbors upstairs, they smelled it because the ventilation, I guess, was connected. If I was smoking downstairs, you can smell it upstairs. So they called the police on me because I was smoking loud and freaking went to jail. I was so pissed, man, and I knew who it was. I knew who it was. It was this like lesbian lady that went to Armstrong, and the next day, and I remember when I went to jail because I was playing Call of Duty, and freaking police knocked on my door. Hey, open up. We know you in here. I mean, I had my lights on. I wasn't smoking anymore, but open the door and they arrest me. I remember the next day, or maybe it was like a day later. I remember seeing that lady, that my upstairs neighbor who snitched on me, the fucking bitch that snitched on me. I remember just like walking past her, and I had my fist balled up so hard because really I wanted to like really seriously hurt this lady. I don't want to say I wanted to kill. I don't want to kill anybody, but I seriously wanted to put some punishment on this lady's face. But knowing that if I would have did that, I would have, I just would have been in jail again, for assault. My case would be worse. But this lady like kind of really fucked me up. This is like I really got fucked over. In the Chatham County jail system. Because as we all know, being in Chatham County, people who have been locked up in Chatham County jail system fucking sucks. But I say that story just to tell you that the situation, and I'm not saying that this is the same situation that happened out there, because obviously I don't know who the guy is. But what I'm saying is, situation like this where when you're living in apartment complexes, things can be a lot more personal than what it already is, especially when you're dealing with neighbors. And my situation could have been a lot worse. I really could have hurt this damn lady and everybody that was inside that apartment probably. And like I said, I don't know what the situation about, how he was killed, or or even what race he was. I don't know if he was white, black, or whatever race he was. But the situation just behind it is that, a lot of times you can just get in like the simplest, easiest conflict. Sometimes people get police involved when that person should just settle it themselves, unless if it gets too far. But in my situation, hell, you didn't even have to call the police on me. You could have just said, hey, could you like not smoke so much? I can't really stand the smell. Then I probably would have said okay. Then I probably would have moved. But just to get arrested, and I remember that day. That shit really sucks because it was like cold. I didn't have a coat, and I was like the next day, like they wanted to evict me, but I took it to court. But the eviction wasn't on my record longer as I moved in within like 2 weeks. But I moved to the other place on the south side. I moved to Georgetown, a place that was better, much more space and no maintenance issues. But that's just what I'm saying. You have a lot of time. Sometimes living in apartment complexes in certain areas in Savannah just isn't a good idea. There's several apartment complexes that just don't give a shit just about your health or just your living conditions at all. Do I think this shooting could be personal? More than likely it could be. Like I said again, I don't know the details yet on the situation. I know I really went on a long sidebar with all this, but I just want y'all to like really know like something like this could happen, and I could get more details out about the situation relatively soon. I'm just waiting on more news to get out about the situation. But again, this is the 19th homicide that happened on the south side. So just beware on the south side. And by the way, people say the south side is safer. Yeah, I mean it is safe, but there's some places that's on the south side that you have to, I wouldn't say avoid, but it's some activity over there. And not only that, but you have robberies that happen a lot on the south side too. A lot of people get hit as a lick on the south side. I remember a story when I was in high school, when my friends was walking to Oglethorpe Mall, and you can get there off White Bluff. White Bluff is it cuts through the south side, and he was walking to Oglethorpe Mall, and two guys hopped out of the car and robbed his ass. So maybe it could have been a robbery attempt. I'm not sure. Any other updates for this, I'll let y'all know as well. But I'm just leave it at that. Stay blessed, Seaport.